Next on Keeper News at 11, a 9-month pregnant woman and kids in a rollover near Richland tonight. And exclusive video of today's Kennewick stabbing suspect arrest.
Now, with total coverage of the Columbia Basin, this is Keeper News at 11.
Thanks for watching Keeper News at 11. I'm Paul Shoemaker. Heidi Miley is off tonight. In our top story, troopers say it's amazing that a 9-month pregnant woman, and 3 other kids got out of a rollover accident tonight without serious injuries. It happened on Interstate 182 near the Columbia Point Golf Course around 7:30. People at the scene say the victims heard a pop, and then this little car with hardly any protection went out of control. A closer look shows the tread peeled off one of the tires. It rolled once in the median. 2 of the kids walked away. Medics bundled up a little girl and the pregnant woman and took them to the hospital with minor injuries. The State Patrol says all but one of these people had seatbelts on. They say with a small car crammed with 5 people, it's amazing things didn't turn out worse. A cop car got munched today when someone else apparently panicked in the path of an emergency vehicle. The Benton County Sheriff's deputy's cruiser is now totaled. Officers say Deputy Charles Jones had his lights on and siren blaring while responding to a call at about 3:30 today. When he approached the South Ely and 27th intersection, police say 75-year-old John Nesbitt froze in his car right in front of the speeding cop car. The deputy tried to avoid Nesbitt's car but couldn't. Emergency crews took Nesbitt and his elderly wife Gloria to the hospital with bumps and bruises and some possible broken bones. Now listen carefully, because the State Patrol needs some help finding a hit-and-run driver from earlier this evening. It happened when a gray or silver old Cutlass Sierra clipped a motorcycle rider along Highway 124 near Ice Harbor Dam. The motorcyclist has a broken arm, head injury, various cuts and bruises, and a totaled motorcycle. The State Patrol says the suspect probably has some damage to the right side of his vehicle with some red paint transferred from the motorcycle. The car only had a paper license plate, and the driver is described as a white male with brown hair and wearing blue sweats. Call the State Patrol at 734-7034 if you have any information. 5 hours after the assault, police in Pasco took down 2 suspects in a stabbing that happened in Kennewick this morning, and this is Keeper News exclusive video. Police were staking out an apartment building in Pasco for the suspects. Then, around 12:30, they spotted the suspect car that we told you about on the noon news. Cops surrounded the car in the Albertsons parking lot at 20th and Court and arrested Jesus and Rico Torres. The Torres brothers are suspected of stabbing and beating Leroy Rodriguez this morning at the Village at Volland Apartments in Kennewick. Police say Rodriguez stopped at the apartments to discuss a dispute with Jesus Torres when Rico Torres drove up and attacked Rodriguez, stabbing him 6 times in the body. Police say Jesus grabbed a bat and joined in the beating. A co-worker took Rodriguez to Kennewick General Hospital in this pickup. Police say today's attack is part of an ongoing dispute.
But from what family members are telling us and friends and everything, there's some things going on between these 2 groups of people that have been going on for a little time, and this is just escalating into this more serious of offense this time.
Kennewick General Hospital went into a lockdown after Rodriguez arrived, trying to stall the family feud. A KGH spokesperson says Rodriguez is in satisfactory condition. The Torres brothers are charged with second-degree assault. It's looking more and more like the murder trial for the accused trooper shooter will be held in the Seattle area. In a hearing for trooper shooter suspect Nicholas Solario Vasquez today, Judge Dennis Ewell says he has received confirmation that the trial could be held in the King County Regional Justice Center in Kent. Ewell has granted the defense motion for a change of venue because of publicity, but he has not officially announced the location. Franklin County prosecutors say they prefer the Kent location because expenses like hotel rooms would cost taxpayers less than in downtown Seattle. 4th District Congressman Doc Hastings says the Clinton administration may have misled the public on the dam breaching issue. At a press conference today, Hastings reacted to an article in the Washington Times. The article says the Corps of Engineers was ordered to leave comments about the Snake River dams out of an environmental report last fall. The study reportedly said the dams should remain intact. Hastings wonders if the Clinton-Gore administration may have ordered the change under pressure from environmental groups.
And all of a sudden it was changed for political purposes. That to me seems to be something contrary to what the the role of the Corps is, and that disturbs me, that agencies like this, that are in place for the public good, are highly politicized.
A special Senate task force is investigating to see if there has been any inappropriate action. If the allegation is true, Hastings says a lot of time and money has been wasted over the last few months. The Columbine anniversary is tomorrow. That has raised the awareness of what our kids are doing at school. Somebody may be watching your kids very closely, and they may not even know it. Schools around the Tri-Cities are taking advantage of high-tech video systems to help make schools safer. KEPR's education specialist Peter Michaels reports.
On the roof, in the halls, and outside at Pasco High, someone is always watching.
It would allow us to keep a close eye on what's going on.
19 cameras are keeping a constant vigil on just about every inch of the campus.
Basically, it's an extra man we have, or person that we have on security with us.
It allows us to get to situations faster. If we can probably stop some students from fighting because we see them arguing over the system.
The cameras can pan either way and have incredible zooming capabilities. You can forget about ditching to this Dairy Queen for lunch.
We're able to zoom in to see ID numbers, IDs, and names on IDs.
A security officer is always at the control booth, and a tape is always rolling just in case.
If we do miss something, we are able to go back and watch the video.
I think you'll see more schools going towards it. It's just a safety issue, and I don't think you can ignore anything. You've got to be proactive in trying to stop violence.
And that's exactly what's happening. Columbia High School's remodel plan includes the exact same system as Pasco, but smaller.
Life does not pass us by just because we're in a smaller school district.
Students we talked to today say the cameras are a good idea.
We know they're there, so we really don't have an issue about them, but we think they're good to keep around.
If kids are doing what's right, then I guess they don't have anything to worry about.
If something abnormal occurs, then it makes me feel a little bit safer to know that we can rely on those systems.
Educators say it's hard not to add fuel to the fire or cause unnecessary alarm, but they say the bottom line is schools need to be prepared for anything. I'm Peter Michaels reporting, KEPR News.
And the Pasco School District just approved the installation of more cameras at Captain Gray Elementary because high schoolers will start using that school next year. And meteorologist Fred Rixey is here now just to talk a little bit about a beautiful weather today.
Yeah, we had some beautiful weather today, and it looks like we're going to be seeing another nice day for tomorrow.
All right.
Let's take a look at what we have outside right now. And temperatures are in the 50s, so it's a very pleasant evening. And the forecast for tonight says we're going to be seeing just a few clouds moving on in, and lows getting down into the mid-40s for tonight. Tomorrow is a carbon copy of what we had today, but things start to change for the weekend. I'll tell you all about it in a bit, so stick around.
Okay, sounds good. We'll look forward to it. Thank you, Fred. In Northwest News now on KEPR News at 11, the capture of a man suspected of being a serial killer who preyed on Spokane prostitutes has brought a sense of relief to the city's mean streets. Robert L. Yates, Jr. was charged today with first-degree murder in the death of a 16-year-old prostitute. Spokane County Sheriff Mark Sturck says Yates may be responsible for the deaths of up to 18 women since the mid-1990s. In Oklahoma City today, Americans promised to never forget the 168 people who died in the Oklahoma City bombing and the scar it left on our country. Lee Cowan was there.
At night, the freshly dedicated memorial in the heart of Oklahoma City lights up the site of one of America's darkest days. A reflecting pool now sits where Timothy McVeigh parked his truck 5 years ago, and 168 empty chairs sit as silent witnesses to those who didn't come out of the Murrow building alive. The site is intensely personal. It is now at the same time a public shrine.
I know there are still days when the old anger wells up inside you. Still days when tears fill your eyes, when you think your heart will surely break. On those days in the future, I hope you can come here and find solace in the memory of your loved ones.
In fact, it's expected to be one of the most visited memorials in the country, some 500,000 people a year. Its design and construction became a vital part of the healing process for survivors who have spent the last 5 years struggling to fight back and move on.
Julie not being here grips me every single day, and that's just something I deal with on a daily basis.
Bud Welsh lost his daughter. Anniversaries, he says, are never lonely, but they're never easy either. But the dedication of the memorial marks a passing.
Those of us that have lost loved ones, that is with us the rest of our lives. We have to accept that. But we have to make the most of that. And I think that most people are able to do that now.
Certainly anger was a very real emotion that came out of this mass murder 5 years ago. And I think we've helped people work through that.
There is still a portion of the fence here that Americans came to know, and as long as people come to visit, there will be the tears that America has come to share. This 3-acre plot of land has become just as much a part of the Oklahoma landscape as it has become a part of the nation's consciousness. Lee Cowan, CBS News, Oklahoma City.
Well, now that the Seattle Sonics know who they're playing in the playoffs, all that was left to do was win their regular season finale. Ed Dawson, live in the newsroom. Did they do it, Ed?
That was the question, Paul. Now, last night, the Seattle Sonics beat the Sacramento Kings in overtime to claim the 7th seed in the West in the NBA playoffs and a date with Utah in the first round. And tonight, they hosted the lowly LA Clippers, but they didn't look so lowly tonight. Los Angeles comes up with the 114-106 win over the Sonics in Seattle tonight. Lamar Odom, the rookie, scored 33 points, a career high in the effort. More local sports coming your way in 15 minutes, so stay tuned. Reporting live in the newsroom, Ed Dawson, KEPR Sports.
Okay, we'll look forward to highlights. Thank you, Ed. An external heart is helping improve the chances of survival for many heart patients. Coming up on KEPR News at 11, we'll show you how the survival rate for many people with terminal heart problems is improving by 40% with this medical breakthrough. Some Tri-City students have raised some fish, and now they've set them free for you to catch. We'll tell you where to find them. And some teachers are bailing out their students with a unique fundraiser. We'll tell you about it later on. But first, these are your closing numbers from Wall Street today.
We've all heard of seniors going to Canada for their medicines. But have you heard about the seniors who come from Canada to the U.S.? Because Canadians say their government-controlled health system is in crisis. They wait longer for new cures. Seniors are too often switched to cheaper, less effective medicines. Yet some politicians want to import Canada's government controls to America. Help